Okay, everybody. I hope, let's see, that little green light isn't going up a lot. I don't know if I can turn this up or not, but we'll see. Maybe it'll get better. Oops. Okay. Anyway, I'm just doing a quick update, okay? I know you're probably guys are as frustrated as I am over all this insurance crap going on. Just to start out, and that's what I've been going crazy with the insurance, trying to figure this stuff out. I mean, they just, they put me on that NIV vent, and that's a month-to-month pay thing, okay? So I hate to switch insurances, but I really got to do some more investigating on all this and see what's going on. And my heart goes out for all you guys because I've even been getting these crazy bills. And to be honest, I'm very blessed, I guess, to be poor because I've been on my Medicare, but I've been on welfare, and they've been really good with me, I guess. But because things have went, things are going towards AI again, and I'm not saying all things are bad with AI, but some things are. And my boyfriend even and me, we've been getting these high bills because and it'll even say, well, your insurance was denied, and it wasn't even our insurance. Okay, so be sure if you're getting a lot of medical bills in the mail, everybody, read everything, even the tiny prints. Okay, because what's happening is I don't know what happened. I don't know if it got sent to my address. It's somebody else's bill. I don't know. Nothing got sent into my insurance company. It was a bill for $2,500, everybody. I about fell off my chair. I thought, wow. Because I'll be honest, I'm on Medicare and Medicaid, okay, because of my ALS and because of my lower income, okay? So, because I'm only on Social Security and I don't get that much on Social Security. So it's been a blessing, I guess, with my ALS because usually they pay for a lot of my stuff and they are paying for my event. Now, I encourage you all to check your state because they are changing how much you can make, okay, to be on Medicaid, okay? Now, what I've been reading is they may do away with Medicaid. They may do away with Medicare. They may do away, they're even talking our Social Security here coming up in a few years. I don't know. I do know what's going on because I sit here and research all day. I mean, that's what I do, and it's interesting for me, and I try to help people. And I just, I heard over probably 6 months to a year ago how when they were going to start some of this stuff that it was going to start with the medical, and it has, okay? So this is just crazy, and you have to make sure before you go to a hospital if they'll even take your insurance right now. What they're trying to do is crash us all and get us all on a one world system, basically, and they're starting with the medical. Because if your medical isn't working, don't buy into all this stuff that you're hearing on the news and stuff. There's some behind the scene things going on, and things are not going to get better. I've been watching things even in the grocery stores. Some of the food I've even tried to eat, it's like, isn't like I used to eat the same thing. I mean, there's just a lot of weird stuff going on, okay? Okay, enough on that, but I just worry about all you people with this insurance and with what's going on with this. I had to fight for 2 months to get that NIV vent, and I was probably going to die if I didn't get it. I had CO2 so bad that I couldn't even remember. I didn't even know where I was half the time, okay? And with that, I was trying to get this vent, okay? Because they told me that would get rid of that. And thank goodness, where I was getting my NIV vent, they told me that the guy told me that this would get rid of my CO2. And I guess with our lungs, as we progress, and I'm in my 9th year, I've been on that BiPAP ASV for 8 years, and now I'm on this vent, an IV vent, but it's probably part of my progression, okay? And there's just things that have been happening with me. My heart rate's been worse. My gosh, my heart rate went up to 124, and it's been all the way down to 34. Now, deal with that crap, okay? I found out that they don't say that ALS affects your heart, but it does. It affects your heart's a muscle, and there's muscles affecting your heart. So what I found in a lot of days of investigation on this, why it's worse, and to be honest, my ALS started with this problem. My doctors went absolutely crazy. They wanted to put a pacemaker in me. I said no. They ended up sending me to a sleep study, which was the greatest thing they could have done. I failed the CPAP. I got worse. I got CO2. I got crap in my brain from the CPAP. And so they put me on the BiPAP ASV, because by then I had went down to Phoenix, seen an ALS doctor, and they said yes. They would get me a grant to do my gene testing. So sometimes ALS will get you a grant. I think it cost me $100 to get that gene testing. And it's a $10,000 test, okay? The one that I took. And it come back positive with C9 and ALS2. Now, they don't even know what ALS2 does exactly. And they're still trying on the C9. And again, I'm going to back up my THC. I don't care what they're saying on the news. You can't even hardly believe what you read anymore on news and stuff and social media. Okay, everybody? It's just crazy. But I will tell you that when I got that MRI, and some of you might have seen that other video I mentioned this in, but I'm going to mention it again. And that guy, when he did my C-scan of my brain, when they were trying to decide if I had ALS after I had the gene stuff, then I got worse, and then they did all these testing things that they do. And he come out and he says, "Lady, I don't know what you're doing, but you keep doing it. Whatever you're taking, don't ever quit taking what you're taking." Because he said you had something in your brain that was starting to do stuff, and it stopped, and it hasn't come back. So there you go, guys. What I've started doing too, for you that are trying the THC, and you can look at my THC thing, and that'll explain more. But one thing that I've been doing, and this is something some of you could try if you don't want to go buy the gummies, okay? You can buy a little jar, and it's THC and CBD, okay? And these are at any dispensaries. And this is stuff you can rub. I'm always rubbing them on little growths I get, and my growths disappear. And I think I told everybody about my accidental find that this works. Is when I was bedridden, I got that polyp in my nose. And I thought, I told God, now, why do I have to deal with this now? I didn't even know what it was at the time, but I found out it was a polyp, I think. And so, you know what? After I prayed, it's almost like God says, stick that cream up your nose, So I did. And you know what? After a week, I did that every day. And after a week, that polyp left. and I got energy and I wasn't bedridden anymore. Okay. So I was thinking the other day, I think because I've been progression, because I've been having all these other weird things happening. I mean, I'm having trouble going to the bathroom. I'm doing that. Here it is. This is what I'm taking, this Emma. And I was taking one a day. It's supposed to help clean your colon. It's got all kinds of good vitamins in it. I ordered that. I was taking that every day. It was working great. Now I'm only taking it about once every 2 or 3 days because it's working too good on me. Now it says to take 2 pills, but I only took one. And I'm gonna, we'll see if, I might take one tonight because I haven't taken any for a couple days, and I'm going to be home all day tomorrow. So that would be a good day to take it. But that's helping because I seen on all the forums where people were getting impacted down there and end up in the hospital. And I don't like to go to the hospital. I don't want to go to the hospital. So all these things I do keeps me from being in the hospital. Okay. Now I went and they did an echocardiogram and on my heart, and they said my heart was fine. And I told them 9 years ago when they sent me to all these different hospitals and did all these crazy tests, they couldn't find out why my heart was crazy. Okay. Well, it's the ALS. It's the weak muscles on the heart. And then my vascular system was affected early on because I always told everybody my temperature was broke. It really was. And my blood pressure goes off the charts. and it's just weird. But I was very blessed to get a doctor that some doctors with ALS, see, they don't know that much about our disease. They don't know. So I can go into my regular doctor and say, hey, I need this blood pressure pill. And I tell her, I'm very honest. I said, I only take about a half a pill, and then I take a half later, and that works out better. And that keeps my blood pressure from going off the chart. But I don't do it every day. I check my blood pressure. Every morning, I check my blood pressure, I check my oxygen, I check my heart rate. Okay. And so I know what it's doing. When I take my meds, I check it. And that way I've been kind of adjusting a few things on my heart a little bit between the CBD and the THC. I can kind of get my heart better. But it's interesting. My one neurologist told me, and this is valuable, that we're going to have more issues when we're laying down, okay, and sleeping. So my heart rate when I lay down will drop. It's dropped down. It used to drop down in the 30s, okay? So that's when I went and upped my meds, and that helped bring my heart rate up. Now it's more like 50s and sometimes upper 40s, but it brought it up one whole thing for me. But during the day, I had to stop taking that. I can take those. What I do is I take those through the night. They keep my heart rate up. Then during the day, sometimes I take my Pures during the day. Sometimes I might take one of these new, stronger meds, and I'll take a CBD pill or half a gummy with it. And then that'll keep my heart rate at about 77 or 80 sometimes during the day. Because it seems like if I move around more, my heart rate goes up. It's like my muscles are shot holding my heart with my ALS. I mean, my ALS has been very bizarre. And like I said, they don't know that much about the ALS too. So I don't know if that with my C9s going, I don't know what's doing this. But so, on that little, that where they ask us all those questions all the time when we do the online stuff with the ALS, and they see how our progression was. I started out at 47 9 years ago because I was already on a BiPAP ASV. That drops you clear down, okay? So my stuff, I have to say, I probably started with something similar to Ball Bear, they call it. But because I got on these THC gummies, I haven't really, I mean, I have the horrible saliva. That's another reason why I up my meds is on these, on the THC, because that has helped my saliva. And then this is what I take. This I buy at Walmart or even the dollar store. It's just Mucex, but it is that galvacysteine 400 each. And then what I do is I cut those in half, and I take a half in the morning, and then later I might take a half, and then I take a half before bed. I never could take a whole one. It was yucky. So for the caretakers, if your patient is having a lot of phlegm and you're doing these, try that with them. Do a half or break up a half of a pill and put in there, and then try. And that seems to, it worked better for me. I hated taking them with a pulpo. And now I don't mind taking these a half at a time. So anyway, because they only have 2 holders in our area to measure your heart, or to measure your heartbeat. So I'm going in November here in a couple weeks, and I'm going to wear this, and they're just going to have me wear it 24 hours. Now, when I wore this before, like, I don't know, it was 8 or 9, or probably 9 years ago, they had me wear it for more days, but I think because they don't have much, they're just going to throw it on you for 24 hours, and then you bring it back the next morning and go. What a pain. But we're going to do it because in 24 hours, they're going to see how erratic my heart is. And then they're going to go nuts like they did 9 years ago. And I'm not going to get a pacemaker. I can't imagine a dying muscle and an electricity going towards it, okay? On a dying muscle. To me, that would kill a muscle faster than anything. So I didn't do that. And here I am 9 years later without the pacemaker, okay? So the same with cholesterol pills. When I was 30, they wanted to give me cholesterol pills. They said I had horrible cholesterol. You know what? I'm going to be 73 in January, and I've never taken a statin. I've never done anything for my cholesterol, and I'm still here. So, I guess too, one thing I found out from a nurse, or one of the nurses at the doctor's the last time. She said, we were talking about, I was telling her how, when they sent me home to die, and the other person I had, a friend of mine, went in, and they didn't have any illness. They didn't have nothing. They didn't have ALS or deal with all the stuff that we do. And they went in and they put them on invasive breathing, and they died. And here I am 9 years later. I come home and got on my BiPAP ASV, took my THC, took my sulflaxin, took Gatorade. And, I have to say, to have your arteries and veins collapse, we got an awesome God that did some healing that day, okay? And I thank him every day for healing me. I have probably died 3 to 4 times almost, and I'm still here. And it's because of the grace of God, okay? And he has kind of prompted me on the gummies and do stuff. We're here. We're supposed to take care of ourselves, do what we can. But I always pray for guidance. And I'll have to say, God has always got me when I was supposed to get different things done, whether I wanted to or not. I knew God was pushing me, and it's a good thing he did, because we caught things early. And that's important too. So anyway, I'll wear that halter thing and then I'll get back on and let you, well, I'll probably wait for the following week because then I go back to the doctor to find out what they found out with that. So I won't, we'll just wait and talk to you here in about 3 weeks. Let you know how I'm doing on that halter thing. Another thing I've got to mention, because I've noticed with me that I can tell, you know, the stuff that's in the sky right now and the sun shooting out all this stuff, it causes your computers not to work. It causes all kinds of things to not work, okay? When you have fireballs shooting out of the sun and it hits our atmosphere, it causes havoc with all this stuff, okay? Well, it also can cause havoc with us. And I tell you, the last 2 months and even this week, it's been crazy, okay, with my vitals. I can't get them organized, and I think that could be part of it. You know, I'm hoping that it's not my progression. I'm gonna, you know, that my time isn't long. I'm hoping it's more of all this stuff in the air that's causing weird things that's affecting my body a little bit, but we'll find out. So God bless everybody. My heart goes out for you. I mean, it's hard, and anything that you need right now, you have to fight for it. I fought for that NIV vent for 2 months, and I finally got it. Okay, so don't give up. My heart goes out to all of you. Oh, and I have been getting, I forgot to tell you, because I asked some people on some of the forums, and a few people have gotten that. The other day, I was trying to think when I went to bend down to pick something up, and I got the worst pain kind of in your upper stomach, right up in here underneath there, and oh my gosh, to the left and then to the right. And then the other day, I went to lift my leg to put my compression sock on, and I got to the lower part of my left stomach. I got the most horrible pain again. And I thought, oh, good. Now we get to deal with this too. So after all my innards being affected to max as bad as they can be, now I'm going to start getting more cramps and stuff. But you know what I've done all along, if I get a cramp, like if my arm starts cramping up and I get any kind of anything, okay, then I take I take that compression sock and put on there, and you know what? The pain kind of lightens up. And within a few days, I don't even have to wear that, but it takes care of the muscle that's being attacked. So, okay. Well, thank you so much, everybody, and God bless. And we'll see you in 3 weeks, and we'll see where I'm at then. Okay. God bless.